Okay, we have our cute little Pikachu character. So what I wanted to do is start with the head, and I just started with a circle and then the shape of the body, and the head's going to be a little bit too big. You'll see me make many adjustments as I go. So I would just suggest starting with a more shallow circle than I did instead of an equal circle from width to height. And so I try and get those temples dented in, and then the cheeks come out, and then you just have the little jawline that slopes down to where the chin would be. The body is about half the size of the head, and it doesn't go too far past the width of the head. The little legs and hips are wider than the width of the head. So if you can get that curve correctly and just try and get them close to symmetrical on both sides. And then the ears, I really paid attention to the distance between the two ears, that negative space, and to get those angles correctly, I used my pencil, measured the angle. And then the arms, I really wanted to start the arms quite a bit down below the chin, but the distance of the arms between each other are fairly close. And so if you look at that kind of a V shape in between the two arms and get that negative space correct, the feet are just tiny little dainty feet. They come out in the same angle on both sides. And then the hands don't go much lower than the feet, so it stays within the shape of the body right there. You want to get close to the edge of the head on both sides when you're drawing his eyes. He's got this nice wide space in between the eyes, and then the nose does not drop below the eye. It's about the lower half of the eye. You just draw this little line, and then the mouth is just barely below. And then we've got our two circles for the cheeks we'll look at in a minute. And what I'm doing now is realizing, oh my goodness, this is a huge head, and so I'm adjusting that forehead. And now I'm just going to go in and draw any of the lines to indicate shadow or line work. The tail is this nice lightning bolt tail, and so to help me, I'm looking at the tail in relationship to the ear. What's the space between the ear and the tail? How far out does the tail go in relationship to the ear? And then the negative space in between that little triangle of the body and that I just drew on the tail. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go through with my ink. The outside lines, I did a thicker tip, and then any fine detail, because this is such a petite sketch, I wish I would have drawn a little bit bigger. I'm using a finer tip pen, and then I'm using my finest tipped pen for line work, just to indicate my values. I didn't want to color this one in, so I'm just using my ink to show the different values. Let the ink dry and then erase it. I love the kneaded eraser, and then you're done.